Tay said he's gonna be on.
I'm a follower, Christian. You're getting down in the Carolinas.
He's a follower.
Yeah,
Appreciate that,
man.
man.
Lots of followers.
Appreciate it. No, we ain't doing that.
I love seeing it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that very much.
You're welcome.
I think Eric is getting on, and also Tay is getting on. All right. Well, it's there's Eric right there. Eric, you're on. I assume Tay will be on when he gets on. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for hopping on tonight. One of the reasons why I had this is I talk to so many people, and a lot of people are at a place where they're stuck and they're trying to make it happen. And I wanted the opportunity for you guys to be able to talk and interact with some people that I've known for a short while, but they've done really, really great things. Some of them were in real estate before they met me, so I don't take all the credit. I don't take actually any of the credit for the stuff they did. I tell anyone that's been on a call with me before, first thing I tell you, I am not in the Illuminati. I don't have any secret information. The result of your effort is hard work and dedication to the craft. I can point you in the right direction, but without the hard work, like I can't make you be successful. So everybody here that I'm talking to tonight that has come through me, like I don't take any of the credit. I may have pointed them in the right direction, but their achievements and what they've done is a testament to it actually worked. So first and foremost, I want to say that like I'm not, I don't have any magical answers for anybody. I can point you in a direction, but I wanted you guys to have the opportunity to meet people that a short time ago were probably exactly where you are. So I have a few people on I'm going to introduce. I'm going to tell a little bit about what I know about them and kind of where they came from. And then after that, I am going to have each one of them tell a little bit about their journey. Then I'm going to ask them some questions, and then I'm going to open the forum for you guys to ask them questions. First, she's got to get off soon. Casey Campbell. So Casey Campbell, she was in one of my first couple of classes, and Casey Campbell is actually an actress. You possibly seen her on TV before. She was on a TV show that I really liked, and Casey has just had a real deal for people and relationships, and she has just she's just been explosive in kind of what she's been able to accomplish, the deal she's been able to do, and what she's accomplished. So, and Casey came from, I don't think, Casey, did you have any real estate background before you got into this at all?
Only doing like angel investor, giving money.
Okay. So yeah, so Katie, 100%. Second one, Christian Hill. Christian, I only have 2 physical daughters, but Christian is my third daughter. Christian is like literally like my third daughter. Christian latched on to me very, very early, and I allowed her to, and she is tenacious. She's an athlete. We bonded too because she's good at basketball. I'm not really good at basketball, but I get out there and try and everything. We bonded a little bit, I think, because of that and her competitive nature. And she had a desire to really succeed. And Christian came from a place, actually, before she even came to me, I heard about her through another guy that I knew. And she was a flipper, and it wasn't going really well for her. But I'll let her tell you more about that story. But Christian is doing phenomenally, phenomenally. If you don't follow her, I would suggest before you get off, follow her. Actually, all those people that are doing this, you should follow them because they're doing the things that you want to be doing. And I knew them when they weren't doing these things. So definitely Christian Hiff, make sure you follow her. Next one, Tay Grice. Tay probably has taken the information that I gave him, and when I say just been explosive in what he's been able to do, I refer people to Tay all the time. Number one, just because he's a really solid, very good human being. He's a wealth of knowledge in the way he does things, and he is taking what I taught him kind of and what I showed him, and he's made it into his own thing. So I talk about Tay all the time. These are probably burning a talk about Tay a bunch and all the things that he's accomplished. I also filter a lot of people to Tay that come from the wholesaling world because that's where he came from. And then also I have my boy Eric. Eric has not been with me very long, but I'm super hard on Eric. We have some common background on certain things. Eric has accomplished a lot in a short time. I'm still working on him being confident in what he has done. I don't think he realizes like the momentous things that he's done. But we'll talk to Eric also. And then my man, Daraka Shahid. Daraka is possibly the guy that I think that could be the mayor. He has a very, very good rapport with people. He's got a command when he walks in the room. Daraka has been fearless in trying to jump on projects that are monumental projects, big time projects. Daraka has come a really, really long way, and he's got a great story with his life and everything too. So that's everybody that I have on the phone. I know that Casey has to get off. I think she's probably got to go do some LA stuff or something like that. So I'm gonna let her talk first a little bit. First thing, Casey, just to tell people a little bit about your story, how you got into real estate development, some challenges you have, and then I have a couple questions for you. And then if you have to go, then I'll get me people to ask you questions first, okay?
Okay. Hey, everybody. I took 20 development class, the first inaugural class in February 2023. It changed my life. I know he don't like to take credit, but his class changed my life. I've always wanted to do real estate development, and at the time I was just married and my husband didn't want to do anything. So got rid of him and took the class. That was the limit. I partnered with my now partner, bought a deal to the class. 5 of us went in on a deal, turned that into a development that we're actually still working on. It's going to be 3 houses. We had some hiccups with that project. Then he bought another deal that me and him went on. That was my very first deal in Statesville. What I learned in that deal was I almost went to jail because I didn't do my full due diligence. I was new. I'm following someone, and a licensed realtor did like some crappy stuff. But I ended up building a house, sold the house, paid to the L because we had to get a bunch of extensions. And if I can say anything, don't try to start big. Like, get your first build, make your mistakes, learn, and the deals will come. As Kenny always say, there's no such thing as a last real estate deal. People get very known to deals, and like, it's like when that deal went the way it went, it's so, but families reach out to me, and I'm working on 2 families now that have land, 26 acres, 27 acres, and we're going to entitle their land. I have a 20-house development we're working on in Winston-Salem, 55 plus community, 8 townhouses in East Spencer. And look, partner up. This can be expensive. So I don't mind getting 20, 25% of something. You know, eventually they're going to all add up. So don't think you have to do it alone. Jay-Z, partner with somebody like-minded, and just do your deal. Look, I say leap, and the net will appear. And you might be nervous. Nothing is ever going to be perfect, but just do it. Do it scared. Do it nervous. Do it. Just do it, like Nike.
All right. How much longer do you have, Casey? Can I have a few people I can get you going to?
Yeah.
Eric wanted to go next. So, Eric, tell people your story, how you got started with me. Tell people about your very first deal. And don't leave anything out either.
Yeah, I gotta leave a lot of stuff out. How y'all doing, man? I'm here. How I first got into real estate, I started off buying rentals. backwards. Well, most people end up at. I started buying rentals, then I started looking at I barely just learned how to read a HUD at the time. So I started seeing 20, 30, 30. So I was wondering what that 20, 30, 30 was. And that was the actual wholesaler that was making 20, 30 grand off every rental that I bought. So after I learned what a wholesaler was, I dived into that. Then when I dived into that, it wasn't paying me enough. So then I found out about new construction. I started doing new construction, started building, and I wanted something fast. Then I found out about that I can do new construction, but still I can wholesale, split the lots up and learn zoning and turn 1 into 10. So that's when I met Mr. Bell.
Who'd you see? Who'd you follow first? Who'd you recognize first before me, though?
Oh, Christian.
That's right.
Yeah, I seen Christian first. I seen Christian, then Tay. Then when I seen Tay, I said, "Oh yeah, this is real." So then I joined the program and I got a deal. My first land development deal. About a month and a half later, I bought an 11-acre lot and split it and made like 50 grand. And I could have did it in 30 days, but I was bullshitting. So I did it around 45 because I was nervous. So yep, from there, I got a couple more deals in the pipeline that I'm looking at. I got a 30 lot unit that I'm looking at developing right now as we speak. So yeah, I got a couple good things going on, man.
Right. So tell us for the deal that you made, I don't know, 46, 50,000. How much did you actually sell out to make that?
About $1,200. I bought I got a survey and like little fees. That's it.
Good. Next, let me talk to Daraka. Tell everybody a little bit about your experience, how you met me, how you got into real estate development, some of the deals that we looked at too.
All right. First thing is that I quit my job, which I've been working for 22 years. And I dibble and dabble trying to look into the hotel business. And I always wanted to get to housing because I seen the construction work when I was a little kid. And they was built. Sweating, you outside, you enjoying the weather. So that's my basis. But when I got a chance to actually speak with AB, that's when I was convinced. He was like, the little money, and I really found that out now. The money that I gave for mentorship or for first class, nothing. And I'm like, you know what? When I spoke with him, I understood his energy, and I realized that I can do anything in this area. All I did was study. When I first got into class, everything was fast for me. Everybody else had experience. Everybody else was younger, and it felt like it was just going right past me. So I just kept rewinding the tape and learning and listening. And I feel like now there's nothing that's going to stop me. And I understand I just got to keep learning. And the bottom line is to learn this. And I had an opportunity from another mentee, Antoine McClain. He gave me a chance of purchasing lots with him and having a shared development. And this is really where it's at. We talking about 4 other guys joining us and building a cottage court in Winston-Salem. And it's just a learning. I'm really trying to be patient. At the end of the day, everything's going to work out for the best. And that's what I truly believe. And that's what guides me going forward. I understand it. This whole process is about learning. And it is about jumping in and getting your feet wet. So that's where I know for a fact that from a wealth standpoint, when I can look in my pocket and lose 100,000, it don't make a difference to me. I already know that. So I'm going forward. He gave me an opportunity to mess around with a deal that was, like Casey was saying, start small. But because I was going for a big deal, he let me go ahead and experience it and find out what's going to happen on the other end. And they gave me a chance to go to the city and discuss with them, to work with the city planning, that kind of thing. And it's a learning process. And I already know that it's just a matter of time before this really busts forward for me. And I appreciate you, KB. I'm gonna let you know right now.
And stuff. I appreciate you. I really do.
I mean, it's about good people. You good people, man.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Thanks a lot. And then I have Tay Grice. Tay, tell the story about how you drove to Charlotte. I like this story. Hey, you there?
Hold on, I'm here. Can you hear me, bro?
Hey.
All right. So, damn, I didn't even realize I told you that story, KB.
Yeah, you told me. You told me the story. So I'm asking everybody how they got started in the first class and everything, and kind of about their journey. So
Wow. So what happened was, I started out wholesaling years and years ago, years before I got into development, and I'd lost a bunch of money a bunch of times going broke wholesaling. And so what happened was, this time I was like, I'm gonna get back in, but I'm gonna do some land deals. And oddly enough, I seen three friends of mine actually take this class, Christian and Kendrick, and then I seen my guy Nas take this class. So I was like, okay, they took this dude's class. I don't really know him. I'm gonna take it. At the time, I'm living down in Charleston, South Carolina. This like 2-3 years ago, before whatever. And I'm down. I'm running out of money. Like I bought a car dealership, lost all my money. I'm broke again. I'm down on my last like $4,000 or $5,000 or something. And I'm like, fuck, do I need it? But if I'm gonna flip land, I gotta understand land. I don't know nothing about land. So I said, fuck it. I spent my last few dollars on this course. I drive from Charleston, South Carolina, all the way up to Charlotte. I'm from Charlotte, so it was nothing just to come home. I just pretended I wanted to see my mom for the weekend. But I came up to the city, took the course, learned about real estate development. It was like, okay, it was a 2-day thing. I mean, we went around. It was very informative, right? I didn't know anything about land development before this class. I was wholesaling houses, right? So learn about land, learn about development, took the course, drive back down to Charleston for the weekend. I'm back in Charleston, and I just start underwriting deals. I just start trying to learn about the business, understand what I'm doing. I'm looking at lots. I'm looking at what people buy, I'm looking at people sell. I'm looking at what it trade for. I'm just starting to really learn and understand what you should be buying, what you shouldn't be buying, cost and all. I'm doing my homework, right? Well, I do my homework, and I move back home maybe 3-4 weeks after that. And within 60 days of me being home, I closed the deal for $35,000. I closed the deal for $75,000, and I sent KB them checks. I'm sure KB still got proof of them checks. I made $100 in my first 60 days of being home, off of just selling land. I ain't know nothing about land 60 days prior to this. I drove up here from Charleston. I took his class. I learned about land. I decided I ain't doing no more houses, and all I did was target land. And within 60 days, I had 2 checks for $100,000 with my name on it. I sent KB, and from then on forward, instead of being the guy who, see, to Casey's point, what she was saying earlier of, hey, partnering up, and don't feel like you need to do too much and learn. My way of learning, my way of partnering up was finding deals and selling them to developers who was going to actually develop it. So what I did was I went out, found land, I made it highest and best use. I bought frontage, I subdivided, I went and got easements, I did whatever I could to add value to the property, and then I went and sold it to developers. And I went on to have a very, very good year that next calendar year. I made the most money I've ever made doing this that year. Like, and before, I mean, I was a 6-figure guy. It wasn't like I made no money, but I went on to make some really good money that following year. And after that, it's been been up ever since. I mean, it's been good, to be honest. So if you're gonna get into real estate development, you gotta understand how to value property, and the property is not house, property is land. So if you're gonna do this, you better learn it. If you don't know, if you don't know by now, you're gonna learn from somebody. You know, so how you gonna learn? That's up to you. You can 2, 3, 4 years reading books, watching podcasts, or whatever the hell you want to do, or you can just learn it from somebody who knows what the hell they're talking about. But that's my Charlotte story. I started the whole. I lost a bunch of money a bunch of times. I got back in it. I decided I was going to target development, and I started buying and developing land and selling it to builders. And you know, it's treating me well thus far. It could be a lot better. You know, I just left the biggest developers in town house, and that guy doing way better than me in life. You know, so there's always levels to the game, but it's a very rewarding thing. You know, like this is a business where you can make money a lot of ways. You don't have to do one thing. You can buy land, develop it, and sell it. You can just find land and flip it. You can actually be a general contractor. You can fee build. You can build your own stuff. Like, there's a lot of ways to really skin the cat and make $1 doing this thing. And I know guys that make $1 million a year in every facet. I know guys who just sell land and develop land that are $1 million guys. I know guys who are just general contractors. They only fee build. They don't build their own stuff that are $1 million guys. I know people who only build their own stuff that are $1 million guys. Like, there's 1,000 ways to skin the cat in this business, but you definitely need to be educated. If you're not going to educate yourself, you're a dummy. You way behind the ball. So you got to educate yourself, however that means. But once you educate yourself, then you decide how you want to move. And for me, that was starting out buying sites and selling them to developers because it's low risk. I'm putting money in my pocket and I'm learning the game. So that's how I got into this. That's how I learned it. And it's shit. I mean, it's to Casey's point, like it really changed my life. Like this ain't no, I'm not like this ain't. I'm dead ass serious. This shit really changed my life. So, you know, I'm not saying it's gonna change life. That's a you decision. That's up to you if you're gonna put the work in. But I know me personally it did. I know Casey on this call personally did. I know real well Christian. That's my dog. I know it changed us for sure. Only thing about Christian is KB lied earlier. She cannot hoop. She's ass. She cannot hoop. He said he hoop. She cannot hoop. You know what I'm saying? But I know for a fact, just it really, really changed our life. And so, however you learn, like I'm like you definitely like Kenny taught all of us, and it's been nothing but rewarding. He's a wealth of knowledge in his head, you know. So you really need to, if this something you're gonna do, you really need to educate yourself because it's extremely rewarding. I'm like, I spent my last $2,000 on a course, and 60 days later, I'm sending him checks for 2 checks, and I got $100 grand in the bank. I mean, like, what are we talking about? You know, so it was, man, I can't thank him enough for it. Honestly, it was really good. So that's my 2 cents on it.
Well,
You just left Seahawks?
Yeah, I just left Syria. Yeah, I'm with him every. You know, I'm with him every day, man.
You said what
I
now?
didn't know you was going to his crib.
I'm at his house every day.
Why?
Wait, we do this later. We do this later. What the hell?
So next is Christian, and she is like, when I say she's like a daughter to me, anyone except for my children that will call me when I'm on vacation and say, hey, are you using season tickets tonight? And I say yes. They have to be like children to me if that happens, and that actually happens. She calls, so you using season tickets tonight? I was like, no. She's like, can I use them? Like, yeah, I guess so. God. But Kristen, tell everybody your story, how you started, how you got to be so proficient, how you nuzzled up under me and I just couldn't set you free.
I don't really know about all that, but nah, I mean, there's a lot of great people on here that's done a lot of great things, way more than me. And I started out wholesaling. That's how I started. And similar to Tay, you know, you make a lot of money, then you lose a lot of money. You make a lot of money, then you lose a lot of money. And it's not because of the operation. It just may be the operator that's in the seat. You know, there's something else for me. And then we started fixing flipping, and yeah, lost a lot of money doing that. Good amount of money doing that. That was trash. Then finally realized like, okay, this is gonna work. I don't really remember exactly how I came across your page, KB, but I just remember I remember coming across your page and reaching out to you. And I remember, I laugh about it now, but I remember when you first told me the price. And I was like, oof, I was like, is it worth it? And I just remember you saying like, you know, a typical KB response, like, I mean, look, I'm not coming down on price, all right? I'm just gonna tell you, all right, change your life and da 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 and like all this stuff. And I just remember being like, oh my God, this is so expensive. And I was like, whatever, like just pay it. And I think we paid on a credit card, something like I don't even know how we paid it. Paid it on a credit card, and what I feel like I did differently, and when he said how I snuggled under him, I didn't snuggle under him. I would ask KB. I want to get when I was like normally the first person on. I was normally the last person off. I asked a million questions all the time. And I wanted to get him one-on-one. And I remember asking him, when can I talk with you? And this man responded and said, you can talk to me at 5 a.m. It was like 5 or 5:30 a.m. And at that point, I was not getting up early. Like early to me was like 7:30, 8 o'clock, maybe, you know. And I just remember being like, oh my gosh, are you serious? And he was like, if you want to catch me, you got to catch me at 5 a.m. And I don't remember how many 5 a.m. calls me and you had, but we had a lot.
Yeah, we did.
We had a lot of 5 a.m. calls. And it was literally just me asking him a bunch of questions at 5 a.m., him answering, him going through the deals that he's doing. And I think that was what did it for him, that this girl that I don't really know is called me at 5 a.m. for multiple times. And that was what did it for me. Like I truly soaked in the knowledge. I took it in, and from there, you know, let's just say I've done. It's yes, it has completely changed my life. I have deals going on. I've done, you know, multiple subdivisions now. Me and KB did a 35 unit townhome entitlement. Listen, it's been amazing. And for me, you know, even past the development part, I learned that I actually love to build. Like I truly enjoy that. And I learned that from KB because I enjoy walking his houses and asking questions about this and about that. And I remember just being like, man, if you can build and you can do land development and I know the ability on how to find deals, I'm just like, dude, I mean, I just remember him, KB, just saying, like, if you can get all this, like, you will literally be unstoppable. And I'm not saying I'm unstoppable. I don't talk that way, but I have done very good, and I will give that to, you know, God and KB and people like Tay and people like KC and I see Dewan is on here. Like, those people have been amazing for me, and I'm just so grateful for it. So yeah, I mean that's just a little bit about me. Like I said, I'm not doing too much, but I'm doing enough.
Well, I have a special place in my heart for you because you did do that. You were on a call at 5 o'clock in the morning. I was rough with you at times and hard with you at times and forced with you at times about certain things because I felt like that's what you needed. But I have a lot of respect for all of you guys. And the reason why I have so much respect for all of you is you guys just did the work. Like there is nothing magical about me. I didn't tell you anything that you could have figured out by yourself, but you've done the work. I'm not going to put you guys on the spot and say, well, how many deals you have going on now? I know you have a lot of them going on, but you people on the phone, everyone on here, their results are from actual hard work and dedication to a craft. This is, do you agree, Christian? This is a skill that you have now. It's not a fluke, it's a skill.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Like you know, I went to college. I played D1 ball. So for Tay to say that I'm trash, you know, that shit is kind of crazy. Like, you know, hey, look. Listen. Shay, listen.
We're gonna start out. We're gonna start out the KV basketball mornings too, because I'm 53 and I know. Listen, I'm 53, but I can still get a bucket when necessary. I'll get a bucket, just one.
Hey, you getting a bucket on 10 baby ass.
No, I didn't say I was good. You said you was good. KB really is the bucket. KB and Bryce can actually. You crit. That's not true. You are not like that.
All right. Okay. I want to digress into a basketball conversation. So I want to ask everybody like 3 simple questions. Also, too, Dewan jumped on too. Dewan, give everybody a very, very basic, quick. I knew Dewan. Dewan was a general contractor. He was in construction before he got in development. I knew Dewan for years before he took any class from me. So Dewan, tell a little bit about how you got started and how we met and everything, and what has been the difference from before to where you are now as far as development.
Well, I met Kenny at the 3-unit build over on Plaza.
Oh, yeah.
I was flipping a house for pennies on the dollar. And Kenny was like, man, you getting robbed over here. But I was watching him. He didn't know I was looking at him as a person that's doing what I really wanted to do on the highest level, which was build multiple units in one area. And that right there was like the one thing that got it. And then I just started building. I just stepped out and started building here, meeting people, connecting, and just started out building for other people first, and then getting that experience, getting that failing and making the mistakes. Like this business is, you get better with the mistakes. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a lot of headaches and mistakes you're gonna get in this business, and that's what makes you better. That's because you know, don't go that way, or you learn from somebody who may have been in that position, which for me has been Kenny. And so just being able to reach out and ask those questions. When I started buying my own land and building my own projects, it really made sense. I always looked at the land as something I wanted to do and build from the ground up, but doing it was like, it had to happen first for it to register, and then once it happened, it was just like, the sky's the limit. Once I learned how to control budgets, just do scopes of work, and put together packages for banks and different stuff like that, it just became possible. Right now, I'm working on a $6 million development that I never would have thought I would have had. And there's been so much denial. I've been just in like go mode, prayer mode, just because it's been like the denials, you learn a lot when you're asking for private capital on one end and debt capital on the other end. Just these conversations, they change, the mindsets change, but when you look back and see, how far you come from doing flips and building homes to now being in this place, I owe it all. Anything I do, I always tell Kenny, I owe it to him, just because, I watched him build 14 units. I watched him build, multiple $1 million homes. So it's like, he's always been my blueprint, you know what I'm saying? And so, when I get those denials, when people tell me that my project's not enough money for them and all that kind of stuff, it's a lot of new stuff you learn in this. As the higher you go, the conversations and denials get different, but it's motivation, because, you realize, man, I'm just thankful to be in this position, to be able to build homes, affordable homes for people, provide something for people that somebody may have tried to overcharge them for, be that conduit. So, just get this game from Kenny, and just soak it up and do it right. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. I appreciate it, man. So I want to make sure I'm gonna ask a couple questions to everybody, the same couple questions. Then we have a minute or two for a few questions. It'll be good. So first question I want to ask everybody: what was the hardest part of you actually making the transition to get started? So what was the hardest part? Casey, I know you got to go soon. What was the hardest part for you for making that transition to actually get started?
I don't know if it was really hard. It's just executing on the information that I got from you.
Right.
So I think that was probably hard, but like it's something that I always wanted to do. So I was going to do it, period, whether I would do it by myself, with a group, or whoever. So yeah, that was the hardest. Just like really like, and having patience.
Right.
Patience.
Sure.
Man.
I know you got to go soon too. For you, what's the thing that has happened that's been the thing that you least expected? Casey, you hear that?
Oh, you were talking, I thought you were a Christian. What was,
No. I was trying to ask you a question.
what was the question? I'm sorry.
What was the thing that's happened that's been the thing that you least expected?
What I least expected, that I didn't realize how many, I guess as a trusting person, I really didn't understand the trash people that are really in real estate. Like that try to, like, it's some trash ass people out here, like really like scammers, and because I come from a heart posture of giving and wanting to help. And then also another thing that I thought people would be more inclined to build together.
Right.
But
Maybe not.
that's just how I think. But yeah, those two, trash people and building together.
And last question for you. If you had to give somebody advice that's on the fence from going from a place to not doing this to doing this, like what would be the best advice you give them as far as making that step to actually step out there? And you kind of had a benefit because you went from not real estate to all the way in real estate. And some people have been in different iterations before they jump to the next one.
You know, I'm glad I've never done flips because I've heard nothing about horror stories. But what I will say is the money will come. The investment you make, you will make it back. Like if it's 4,000, you will make it back. And let me tell you, I bought a lot of damn courses. During COVID, y'all know we was buying a bunch of courses, and I have so many courses I never even opened. But you will make the money back. So don't just get the education, because the bill's gonna get bigger, and you want to be prepared with that knowledge. I'm telling you, they're going. I put an ad on Instagram, and families reached out to me like, "You have a trusting face. Like we have this land near Greensboro, 26 acres." You know, so I'm like 26 acres. Never thought in a million years I would be helping families develop because people are offering them $100,000 for 26 acres. So you will make the money back. Don't worry about the money. If you're serious about creating wealth, because people throw this generational wealth, people throw that around and they ain't really trying to get generational wealth. But just make the investment in yourself. It will pay off. Trust me.
And Casey, I know you probably got you can in the chat. If you can put your handles, your social media in there, that way people that are on can follow if they want to.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
All right, thanks. And then Eric, thank you too, Kay. Thanks for getting on. What was the hardest part for you for actually getting started? And I know I was kind of hard on you. You don't got to tell everybody about that, but what was the hardest part for you getting from that standpoint of being in class? And I remember you would call me afterwards and you were like laboring back and forth to actually get to the point where you pulled the trigger. I'm gonna spend this damn money and get these surveys done and keep it going. What was the hardest part on making that thing?
Just taking in information, you know, over the time. I done paid so many people and paid so many courses, man. I kind of like, not lost hope, but I used to be like, man, these motherfuckers they scamming me. They getting money out of me. I'm paying for their Ferrari. All the money I was giving out, but just taking, trusting it and pulling triggers and actually doing it. That's all it was. Once I did it, I mean, you know, I'm not even gonna lie, Mr. Kenneth. No, I feel like my first 2 deals was luck. I still ain't feel like I ain't caught it. I got it, but
it wasn't luck.
Hey,
I'm sorry. Nobody could luckily take an 11-acre lot, split off a 5-acre lot, go get it approved by the city and sell it. That's not luck.
Yeah.
You ain't that lucky. You're not that
part
lucky.
of the Illuminati.
Yeah. Well, Eric, like I really like Eric a lot because he even though he doesn't have faith in his abilities, he has come such a long way, and he doesn't even realize how far he's come. We had a conversation earlier today about something, and all the information that was in the email, he knew it. He just didn't trust him to do it. But Eric has come a long way. I use Eric as an example to a lot of people. I respect how hard he works. If I call Eric, if I text Eric at 6 o'clock in the morning, Eric gonna be up working. Period. Eric will be up. Eric is up and he's getting it. So I respect that. And just like Christian Hith, some people would call me 50 times so I wouldn't answer their phone. If Christian called me, I was probably answering the phone. I was going to answer her phone call if I didn't answer anybody else's phone call. And sometimes my son called me and Christian would call me and I answer Christian before I answer my son. Sad, but I did. Eric is the same way. Eric calls me. If I don't call him
100 times a day.
How many times we talk usually during the week at least?
Probably 7.
Yeah, 6 or 7. Yeah. I answer you too, Casey. Yes, I do. I answer your phone calls too, for sure. So you said the hardest part was just really trusting yourself. And then what's the thing that's happened that you least expected, like that you didn't expect to happen?
I don't know. After I got on the phone with Tay and he broke it down, he made that shit seem easier than what it was. I'm like, man, that shit can't be that easy. But hey, listen, it was a lot of shit that I thought Tay was lying about. Cause I was like, ain't no way in hell that shit that easy. Like, man, you fucking tripping, man. Nigga, it's that easy.
Right.
So when I was doing a lot of stuff, I ain't get, but a lot of that stuff I get, and I'm like, damn, that shit was that easy. I just went and got the survey, and really the survey, I told the survey what I wanted, and he did everything for me. I just had to know the basics.
Right.
Like, it really was that easy, man. My thing is, Mr. Kenneth, know I'm different, man. I'm not here to, I tell him all the time, I'm not here to coach anybody or to tell you to do it. It's on you. You ain't got to do this shit. I mean, that's on you.
Right.
If you want to invest in yourself and you want to make some good money and, change your life, man, go for it.
And then if you have advice for somebody that's on the fence of taking a step, like you said, and I've heard the same thing for other people. A lot of people have been scammed by people, not really anything out of taking a lot of courses and everything. And I'm glad that and I remember too with you were real skeptical about the money and everything. And I was like, look, man, I said, I don't charge enough for what I teach people. I don't charge enough. And I know I don't charge enough. I remember you were like, I don't know if I want to give this money up or whatever. I don't remember what I said to you, but I remember you kind of that way about it. But I know you're talking about this stuff too. So
remember what I told you?
what you tell me?
I ain't want to have to go kid your ass about my money. That's what that was. But yeah, man, at the end of the day, man, I appreciate you, Mr. Kenneth, man. Like what you told me, what you taught me, man, it's life changing, man. I see so much, and as you can see, he's coached and mentored all of us, man. Like, I'm doing shit I ain't never really thought. I still don't get it. Like, I still can't picture myself me doing it. That's how much information he gave me. You know what I mean? But you can take that step and believe in yourself, man. You can do anything. If I can do this shit, anybody. And I'm one of the laziest people you'll meet. Too lazy. I'm lazy as hell.
Now you can't be so lazy.
No, I'm lazy. You know that.
You're so lazy. All right. And then next I think was Tay. So Tay, what was the hardest part for you making a transition from leaving class and actually get started and executing your first deal? Like what was your the reason that you said, hey, I'm gonna go spend this money on this thing that I don't know about with this guy I don't know and try this out?
Well, the truth is this. Listen, man, listen, dog, if you want to get in the real estate business and you can't make if the class $1,000, if the class $10,000, if 10 grand getting to where you trying to go in life, you ain't thinking big enough. So it's like, for me, it was like, listen, if you're going to learn real estate, if you're going to how to flip land, if you're going to learn development, if you decide you actually going to be successful at it, a little $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, if that shit get in your way, then I don't know. What are we talking about here? So for me, it was like, I decided I'm going to do this. I have to learn the information. I know if I'm successful at it, I'm going to make way more than this little $3,000 or $4,000, whatever. Like, I'm going to make way more. It just so happened it worked out way faster and way better than I thought. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it was like, it was a no-brainer. Listen, like, the name of this game is life. You got to take action, but you also got to have the right information. Like, if you don't know what you're doing out here, you walking around with a chicken with his head cut off. Like, you have to have information. You have to have the right information. So for me, it was really nothing, bro. It was just like, well, fuck. And plus I knew what I could make wholesaling, and so it was like, I know if I decide to get in, I know like I can make a decent 6-figure income. So for me, the little money one, it was really nothing. And get started, it was really, I would love to get a story on how hard it was, but it really wasn't. It was just a simple change of what you focus on. Like, a lot of this shit in life, you think it's hard, but it's only hard because you're saying it. A lot of this shit really ain't hard. This shit is really simple. People have been building houses a long time. People have been developing land a long time. They have the information. You either gonna decide to do it or not. Like, this shit ain't rocket science, guys. I promise. And you really don't know everything. Like Eric was talking about. Like, when I was buying lots and setting them up and all that, even now, like, you don't always know. You just send it to the surveyor. They survey land all day. Just say, hey, bro, this is what I want to do. Can I do it?
Right. And I let the surveyor do his job. Tell him what he
You don't need to know literally everything. I would love to tell you it was so difficult and so hard, and I just struggled. where I struggled for years until I learned this shit, and it was good. I'm struggling to get to that next level, so I work now. But like, making a few dollars, flipping some land, developing some land, man, that shit a cakewalk. and I've been telling people that, and I was telling Eric this. Eric, how long we talk? Hours, bro. Hours, bro. And I was like, bro, to tell you shit is not like, I would love to tell you it's hard and you can't do it. I would love to. I would love to tell y'all couldn't do this. There's more money for me and Crit. But the truth is, you start tomorrow and do this shit. You really can. You know? Are you going? That's your business. I hope you don't. Especially in my city. But if you're gonna do it, it's not hard, I promise. It really ain't rocket science.
All right. So what was the thing that happened that you least expected? What was the most unexpected thing that happened to you in real estate and for what you learned? What's the least
How so when you get into this game and you start learning, the more you learn that the more stuff you learn, the more you realize you don't know.
Right.
Like there's so many different levels. And what'd you say, Crit? You talking shit? I know you said, bro. You gotta do
Let's spare the comments. Spare the comments. Focus that.
Now, what I learned about this is one thing I didn't realize is the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know. And there's so many layers to this game, and there's so many levels to this game. And you might like, man, I just realized how high you can really go. This development thing can really take you to the moon, man. Like you're gonna like there's people in this class you sit and you're like, man, I just want to have my first $100,000 in the bank, or I just want to have my first $1 million in the bank. Man, I just left a dude house whose business made $1 million a week last year, as a developer. Like there's and he'll tell you, man, he'll tell you about guys he know who did $1 billion last year. Right. Like there's so much information that you need to learn to really do this at a high level. So for me, the one thing I would tell you, KB, is just like, it's so much I've learned. And you learn that most guys, you ain't going to learn a lot by sitting around reading books and talking to people all day. You're going to learn by getting outside and trying and doing so. That's how you really learn. You're going to do a deal. You're going to go, oh, I didn't know that. Or you're going to do this. Or you're going to sell a deal. Or you're going to be in a deal. Like, you're going to go, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I learned that. So just how much information is out there you need to learn has really, really shocked me. And some of the information I've got, like, man, I've made a lot of my living buying deals from other wholesalers because I got information they don't got. Because I've done deals and I know things they don't know. There's guys who are very seasoned in this business that's been doing this out of my town. I know one little rule in the zoning code that they don't know, and they still haven't learned it. And I make money I make a good amount of money every once in a while because of this one little rule. And so the information I would say is what it is. And how did AI start helping? Man, AI ain't helped me at all. I wish it did. But in the truth of the matter is, I don't even want you to think about AI. I'm glad you said you old school. I don't even want you to think about AI and all that because you don't need none of that to get started and put some money in your pocket. I was down to my last few dollars. I didn't have a bunch of money when I started. Crit didn't have a bunch of money when she started. Most of the people in this class you see that started didn't have a bunch of money when they started. None of them. So you don't need a bunch of tools. You don't need a bunch of money. You can have your phone and your laptop, and I promise you, like, you can get to your first $100,000 and your first $1 million in this business with what you have right now.
Do you remember what you say about other wholesalers? There was a real estate development. Nothing.
Not a thing, bro. I don't know nothing about real estate. If you don't understand land, you don't know anything about real estate at all. A house is just bricks and sticks and a bunch of stuff you can buy at Lowe's. That's not property. Property is land. If you don't know anything about land, you don't know anything about property, and you don't know a damn thing about real estate. Period. None to talk about. So that's my 2 cents.
Rocco, quick for you, man. What was the hardest part for you making that transition over, moving from, I know you retired from professional baseball and now you moved over here. What was the hardest part for you to make that transition?
Realizing that I have to put myself in positions that I'm not normally, the uncomfortable position, and you stress that, hey, you're going to be uncomfortable, so deal with it. This is what it's going to be. That's the main thing that I found I need to get over mentally. So now I'm just ready to go and do it.
The thing that you think that you got that you least expected, like what's the thing that's come out that you least expected about all this?
Really the positive side, that this really can be done.
Yeah.
That I could actually do this. That's what really surprised me. And that's the main thing. I know I can do this.
Right.
and just keep going, keep learning. That's the bottom line, is to learn. And that's why I watch you maneuver and know more than the people at the city. I'm like, look at this. Look the way he's giving them the information, backing off of them. And it's a fast game. I'm watching you talk to the city and making him think like, yeah, that is a good idea. That's where I am. It's like, learn as much as possible. So I'm just trying to be a sponge and going to continue to be a sponge.
And so, what advice would you give to somebody that's trying to get in and trying to make that next step? What advice would you give anybody as far as getting started and everything?
To get in, learn as much as you can and go for it. Don't be afraid.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't be afraid to put your energy, put your blinders on, and work at this and learn it. And decide what you want to do. And that you can be unstoppable if you just keep working. When I got a chance to actually come to Charlotte and see what you were building, I'm like, this is a no-brainer. You're putting up houses that are beautiful next to questionable houses. I'm like, you know what? He can do this. He's showing you. You showed me what can happen. And I'm a believer.
Oh, gosh.
I'm a convert.
I'm glad that you came and learned and everything and have done what you've done. And I can't wait for Winston-Salem. We're doing a rezone up there. I can't wait for that to get done and for you guys to have that under your belt. That's a big deal to go through your own rezone and do it yourself. Christian, for you, what was the hardest part for you getting started? I know you and Tay both started out kind of wholesaling, and I remember you had some struggles with flipping. So what was the hardest part for you making that transition over to kind of where you are now? And I want to give her flowers too. She just got her general contractor's license. She's got a brand new luxury brand that she has also that I'm super excited about seeing and seeing her do. Chris, make sure you put all your handles and everything in social media so people can follow you too, if possible. But tell me a little bit about what was the hardest part for you, getting started, I guess, in moving from where you were to actually, because I remember when you guys hadn't really done a deal yet and you guys took off, and now I don't even know how many you have going on, but I know it's a lot. So.
Sure. Yeah. I've been thinking about that question. And I think the hardest thing, and I think it's still something that, as of right now, just hasn't gone away, is maybe feeling like you're just not doing enough. Like there's not enough out there. And there is enough because there's other people. I have a really hard time with comparing myself to others. It's if you ask me, I just don't feel like I'm doing anything. I don't feel like I've done anything. I feel like I'm just so far behind. And I think that's the hardest thing for me. When I got into development, you have to have patience. So you mix with having patience with not feeling like there's enough. Then it's just okay, you just feel like you're getting left behind. In terms of the wholesale world, things take a while in the wholesale world, but we were cranking out 5 to 6 to 7 deals a month. To go to land development, and it's you might get 1, you might get 2 until you become a big shark. And even then, it's all about what you want to build. Some guys that I know, I don't want to do what they do. There's a whole nother level of stress that I don't want, but I've truly enjoyed, getting into what I'm getting into now, which is the luxury side. I would like to do a massive subdivision of luxury houses. That's the goal. And so I think that's just been the hardest thing, is just feeling like giving myself grace.
Yes.
And I think that's the hardest thing for me. I don't think this shit is hard at all. I don't think it's hard. I think Tay hit on the head about you're going to continuously keep learning. There's just so much things that I don't know. I know KB's still learning. Everybody's still learning. You learn things. The laws change every fucking year. So you learn things all the time. But I think it's giving yourself grace. Your journey is your journey. Your race is your race. And it's a marathon. You just got to keep going. That's something I try to tell myself all the time. I was listening to what Tay said, and there's a saying that I'm walking with now that says, well, not a saying, but I read in the book. It's as long as Peter kept his eyes on Jesus, he walked on water. And I feel like that's where I'm at right now. I just keep my eyes on him and everything else will work out. And it has. So I hope that answered your question. It's probably not what you thought I was going to say.
I wanted to be real for you and for Tay. We don't have this problem because he believes in himself like no other. But it's difficult for you to see your progress because it's like if you're in a car and I'm driving beside you, like you can tell how fast we're going. We're both next to each other, but I saw where you started from. I saw where all of you started from. I remember where you started from. So you have just grown so much, and you are so much more capable. You guys were all so green when it came to this. So you do need to give yourself grace and understand that, yes, your progress, it may not be fast in your eyes, but for me looking at it, it's like seeing children grow up. Like, it's gone fast. You are like exponentially further than you were the day I met you. Tay is, Casey is, Eric has grown, even though he doesn't really have faith, he has grown so much. Like to have his first deal under his belt within a month after taking class or whatever. So all of you guys, Baraka, Casey, Dewan, well, Dewan was already doing this. He just changed how he was doing it. But you guys have all grown like an immense amount, and it's difficult for you to see because you don't remember where you are. You don't remember how much you didn't know anything about anything. And the things that you know now, because you know it, it's not that real to you because you already know that. You already know how to do the things that you know how to do. So that's the part that I think is a little different for you guys is that. And I'm gonna let Dewan talk real quick, and then if you have questions, go ahead and start putting them in the chat. And I'm gonna have a few questions for people, and then I'm gonna try to. These people are very gracious to come out and take their time out to talk to you guys tonight. So I want to make sure I don't take up too much of their time. So Dewan, go ahead and again, same question. What part of getting started was the hardest part for you? Like I said, I knew you were a contractor already. You were doing that part, but you made the transition to development now. And then what happened that you least expected? And then what advice did you give people trying to get there?
I think it really wasn't a hard part for me to transition because I was burnt out on flips. I was burnt out flipping houses. I just got tired of it, and I was already in my mind like I wanted to build a house. Right. And so after building my first house and realizing how you can control the schedule, the budgets, and all these different things, that's where I was like, this is where I'm at, and this is where I'm sticking. And so it just made sense when I started seeing multiple houses being built and different stuff like that, that's when I was like, okay, this is what I really want to do. How do I do that? And just kind of learning how to take land and title it. The least expected is a two-part question. I mean, it's a two-part answer for me. I never thought I'd be able to go into a city council meeting and get approved for 20 homes and on one lot. That was like and it was seamless. It was easy, and I never thought it happened that easy. I thought it was going to be opposition because of my second part. I'm still working on the development in Bessemer City for 3 houses, and it's an opportunity to transition this neighborhood with a small neighborhood. We gave all these offerings up, and to see people that look like me come to the city council meeting and create hell, drag me like I'm the enemy, but up the street, let somebody that don't look like none of us, put in 60 townhomes and be okay with that. It almost discouraged me because I'm like, this is crazy. Like these people, they were asking for all this crazy stuff. I should come in and rebuild all their mailboxes and put speed bumps in the streets and all these different things on parts that had nothing to do with my development. So this was the least expected thing I would see people that look like me be my opposition and development and different stuff like that. But you learn a lot. This is where, like Tay was saying, how you ain't gonna learn nothing in the book. This is where you learn that when you going to these different meetings. Go sit in a city council meeting. I always tell people, go see the conversations that happen at a Charlotte city council meeting. It's crazy, the conversations and the way these people talk, and shoot down projects. But you also get to see who's who. I had to go back and start reading the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, because it's like, man, it's like sometimes, you got to win people with honey. You win more bees with honey than you do with vinegar. And for me, I'm so aggressive in trying to get stuff done and get, it's just a certain way you got to ease in there. Certain people you got to ease in with and create relationships with. The higher up you go, start doing this stuff, you're going to have to know people. You're going to have to know city council people. You're going to have to know people in the permanent office, certain inspectors. You're going to have to be able to have conversations with building officials, having conversations with building officials, because building officials will call an inspector and say, hey, he don't have to take all the house wrap off. He can just do this, and then they push you right through your inspector. That kind of stuff. I'm just giving just little stuff that I've been through, little small things I've been through on projects. But that's my advice. Get to know people in these offices as you're learning this stuff, because you're going to need these people.
Gotcha. Luis Fernandez, you have a question. What's your question, Luis?
Is it all right if I unmute myself and ask away?
Yeah, you're unmuted already.
So to give you guys some context, so I've already been through the process of developing. I purchased the property that I was going to flip and subdivide a lot, built a new house beside it. And right now, I'm also working on the 20 door development with 5 quads. Additionally, also looking to put under contract a property that's above 5 acres that I know I potentially can zone or subdivide into 12 lots. I've already done a lot of the site plans with an engineering firms and this and that for everything, and I'm more so in the process of trying to figure out, how to move forward contractually with the capital stack, how to basically put everything together, et cetera, et cetera. Would you guys consider this to be an appropriate course for somebody that's, a little bit further along, rather than somebody that's just started from zero, I guess is what I'm trying to figure out.
I'll let you guys answer.
Short answer, yes. Long answer is all the questions I had. I picked up the phone and I called KB. And so many of this stuff is good if you're beginning. You're going to get, in my opinion, a big boost in impact in the beginning, because if you've never made $1 in the real estate business, it's going to be absurd if you really take it serious to make your first 6 figures or something like that. But if you've made $1 million before and you take this and learn some information that can help you make an extra $1 million, it's not as impactful. But is it helpful? Absolutely. I mean, you can go to properties in Charlotte where KB developed a damn street. KB knows what he's talking about. We got many of properties where KB's entitled bigger sites, 30, 40, 50 pad sites. So the short answer is yeah, for a number of reasons. And I would say the short answer, the best reason is because you can just pick up the phone and call everybody. Like you'll meet everybody. Like all of these guys, I know most of them. Well, at least outside of Crit, I know DeJuan and I know Eric and I know Casey from taking the class. And there's 100 other people I can pick the phone up and call who have done something in this business that might have the answer. If Crit don't got the answer, she might know somebody in the class that do. If I don't got the answer, Eric might know somebody that have it. DeJuan might know somebody that have it. So in my opinion, I think it's worth it. So, but that's the decision for me. The short answer is yes. The medium answer.
Appreciate that.
And then it looks like Felicia, you have a question?
Yes, and just for the record, I followed Juan. I think we've had some conversations. I also follow Christian. Short side story, Christian. I watched you play ball in high school. I'm one player myself. I'm a retired high school principal. I think you were playing at one of the schools that I worked at my night. I think it was Fort Mill High School. So I saw you play. I knew your coach, Coach Long. She coached me along.
Oh yeah. Was at Spring Valley. That was when we won. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was at Spring Valley. That's crazy. So you knew when I was
I'm
what?
sorry.
Bricks up. That's what she thought. She thought I'm brick.
I was good. Keep telling him that we won state championships back to back, by the way.
It don't count.
Yeah, you beat the team. Keep in mind that was Fort Mill. But anyway, long story short, my question is, and it really is to all of you guys who've been in the class. You've done this, and I've had a background, even though coming from education. I was realtor and did flipping. Right now I'm in midterm rentals right now in the Columbia area. But my question has to do with just starting out and financing, being with no experience. How did you guys get that started? Did you just jump on partnership deals with everyone? Did the experience working with KB help you with that? Did he help you with that? How did you all do initially as far as getting financing and getting started like that with your deals?
I think it's gonna be probably completely different than everybody else's.
Yeah, because I ain't spent a dime, but
I want to know what yours is, Craig. Go. I want to hear you.
I use other people's money for everything.
Yeah.
I don't, I got a good amount of deals going on. And recently I bought deals that people don't even know about. Like I'm not even posting a lot of stuff that I'm doing right now, but I don't have no money in any of my deals. I would say when I got started, I believe in partnership. I believe in partnering. I believe in having a piece of watermelon than an entire grape. And honestly, my little brother, he invested on a deal with me and KB that we still got to figure that shit out. But him and private money, like I talk to everybody about money. Like people ask me all the time, like, where you find private money lenders? I talk to you would be a great private money lender. You want to know why you would be a great private money lender? Because you probably got a 401k and you've been in the school system for a while. And I would come to you and I would pitch you on, hey, I'm going to teach you how to learn this. Anybody feel what I'm saying right now? I'm going to teach you how to learn this game because I know that you want to get in. I'm gonna hook you up with my lady Amanda, where you can pull out of your 401k tax free, and then you can put the interest back tax free, and you can be part of the deal. And most people say yes. And instead of giving what I'm sure you're getting, let's say 6%, 7%, 8%, I'm gonna give you 12% of your money, and you don't have to do anything. That's my pitch. And everywhere I go, I talk to people about money. I eat at nice restaurants. I sit at the bar. I talk to people about money. I deliberately say this. I try to talk as loud as I can. I literally try to say I'm in real estate. I'm a real estate developer. I build houses and I teach people how to make money without actually doing any other work. And they say, how do you do that? Well, this is how. So that's how I do it. Now,
My daughter.
and I will also say that it's like, well, I've never done a deal. I've said that excuse a million times. I use that excuse now. Like there's bigger deals that I'm trying to do. And I'm just like, man, I'm doing my first luxury deal. And I was very nervous about how am I going to raise this money. And I'm still working on raising the money, but I'm not nervous no more because people are like, well, if you're doing, 8, 10, 12 houses, you only be doing this for a year and a half, you could do a luxury deal. But I would say like somebody believed in me so much that they offered money in the first deal. And I don't taking people's money lightly. I believe in paying people back. And so not only did they believe in me, but from them, they've invested $200,000 plus, and it's only been like a year and a half. But I've paid them back plus interest, and sometimes I give them more money. Because for me, I'm looking at a 10-year game. So that's my answer. Also, just like I do use hard money. What I do is if I will use hard money, if there's a gap, like hard money normally is going to give you up to 80, 85%. My guy now is giving me maybe like 95% but I've built a great relationship with him. I will, whatever that difference is, that's the money that I'm raising. So if it's 100 grand, if it's 50 grand, 30 grand, I'm raising that money from a private money lender, and they're wiring that money at closing to the attorney. And then the deal is paid for. And then also KB taught me how to front load my draws, which I realize now, being in this game, how important that is. I know people who did not do that. They did not do that, and they got 100K for cabinets, but they can't even get cabinets. They can't even pay for the cabinets because they put 50K for the foundation, and the foundation was 100K. So I've learned now to front load my draws. So I'm getting most of my money up front. And some people will say, well, no, then you're going to be paying interest for a long time. Well, it don't matter because I ain't got no money in this deal anyway. So every return that I get is my money. And two, no, I'm still paying the same amount of interest. At the end of the day, it's going to be around the same amount of interest. Now I can focus on building as efficient and as quick as possible versus some people, they just prolong the deal 3-4 months because they don't got no money.
Right.
So that's my
with that. The reason why you are so confident in taking people's money is what? Because you know what the hell you're doing.
That's what I'm about to say. Raise money strictly for loud men.
She knows what she's doing. So if I know what I'm doing, then I know what I'm doing. Okay? So getting people always come to me and say, oh, Kenny, I need money and I need credit. Do you know what you're doing? Because if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to mess up the money and the credit. Knowing what you're doing is more important than going and getting the cash. It's like I need my credit and I need some of my business credit set up and business loan. If I gave you $1 million and you don't know what the hell to do, you still don't know what the hell to do.
KB,
chasing credit, chasing knowledge. Go ahead, Ted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I would argue, KB, part of knowing what you're doing is knowing how to get the money. If you can't even get your deal funded, you don't know what you're doing. Taking people, whether it be a lender, whether it be equity, strictly for live men, not for freshmen. If you don't understand that, you don't even know what you're doing. If you got to pick the phone up and call KB, how do I fund this? Or where do I get the money? Or there's certain minutiae, certain technicals, you need to ask them, like Chris was talking about front loading the draw.
Right.
But
well, this stuff we talked about putting your draws and making your draw heavier than it needs to be, and understanding underwriting and understanding what they're actually asking for and what you need to give them and all of that stuff. Any more questions from people? Got probably another 5 minutes. I'm gonna let these guys get off. I know they got stuff to do. More questions. Christian, you had a question? Do we have to live in your state to work with you? I'm in Houston. I have people in Houston. I've got people in Arizona, California. It just really depends. Houston doesn't actually have a zoning ordinance. They have what's called Chapter 42 of a development ordinance, which allows you to do pretty much anything in Houston. So I'm a little bit familiar with Houston and development.
You can do anything there. That shit is crazy.
You can put a strip club next to a daycare. It's crazy out there. Like you can do whatever you want to do out in Houston. Anything. Any more questions, everybody? No? Okay. Well, I appreciate it.
I'll say this one thing. How did I learn how to raise money or how to do any of this? It all started with mentorship. Like, how do you know what to do? Mentorship. I'm a believer in mentorship. And if you don't want to do mentorship, then shit, I don't know what to tell you, because you're going to take a lot of risks and you're going to lose a lot of money. And even with mentorship, you're going to lose more. You're still going to lose money, maybe. You can still lose money, but it's about calculated risk. Instead of you losing 100 grand, you may lose 10 grand. So, I mean, but I've always done mentorship. So,
well, again, I appreciate everybody for getting on, and you guys are all special to me in your own certain ways. I love that I've been able to see you guys, progress in everything. You guys are going to be bigger and better. I told Christian she's going to be bigger than me. Eric's going to be bigger than me. Dewan's going to be bigger than me. Everybody's going to be bigger than me. You guys got a longer runway than I have. So I'll make this available. I'm going to tag you guys on this too, and when I get a chance. But thanks for getting on and everything. And I will make sure that this recording is available for everyone. If you have questions, you should have everybody in here social media. If not, what I'll do is I'll add it to the end of the video. Everybody send me your stuff so I can add it to there. But thanks so much for getting on, guys. I really appreciate you, all you guys. Christian, I want to see that build you got going on. You see the plan I sent you?
Yes, I did. It's nice. I think I might do something similar, but in
All right.
Oakhurst. But yeah, I'm gonna show you.
Let's talk this week, okay?
All right, let's do it.
All right, thanks, guys.
See you.
Thank you, guys.